Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back, 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗍 here. This is NAUTIS Home Ship Simulator, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that we need to do a bit more practice. So I'm going to start doing some of the courses. I didn't realise there were quite so many courses here. There's some of them have got exams on them, which I quite like the idea of. So we've got plenty here to keep us going for a while. I'm just going to jump into Manoeuvring 1. Sail in a straight line. It's going to take me 20 minutes apparently. This course is about the basics of controlling a ship. You will learn how a ship behaves and how it responds to input from the controls. Keep the manoeuvring course in the LXP open next to the scenario to get the theory behind the behaviour you see. Okay, so, right. That's not what I wanted. So this is the LXP. Courses. Manoeuvring, here we go. Enroll. An E lesson. Learn how to steer a ship in tight spaces. Open this module to complete the course. Okay, so there's like an online thing with it as well, but what I don't see, it is manoeuvring, we're in the right place, but what I don't see is sailing a straight line, so I'm sure it will tie up somehow, somewhere. We'll just jump in and see what we've got to do. So I haven't done this before. I haven't practiced it or anything, so we're hitting this first time fresh, straight out of the blocks. What could possibly go wrong is my question. So we've got all our controllers set up. Hopefully that'll pick up and work exactly as it should do. We've got the triple screens going. We got the really old bungee cord steering wheel, which is working brilliantly for this, and we got the Logitech X56 Rhino throttle for the engines and the switches and stuff, and it's working okay. I do wonder perhaps if the I can't show it to you right now because I can't remember where it is. Oh yes, I can. This little beauty here, this is the, I don't know which camera can see this better, but this is the Thrustmaster Airbus engine system, and this is configured for engines 1 and 2. This would be really good for this particular thing, because you've got the detents on there, so you can bring it back to a neutral, lift them up to go into reverse. You've got the buttons on the side, the go around buttons on the side, which would be perfect for numerous other things. Yeah, you've got engine switches, another switch there, another 2 buttons there. I think this could be even better than this. Of course, I'd lose all the buttons for my cameras, so I'd have to think about how I was going to deal with that. But yeah, on the most part, I think the Airbus Thrustmaster throttle quadrant could very well work with this game extremely well. Right, container ship MV 𝗂𝗏, 128,000 tons. Sail your ship forward in a straight line between the buoys. The scenario is completed when you reach the finish line at the end of the buoys. Sounds easy enough. Stay between the buoys, past the final buoys, 20 minutes. Alright, so let's go straight to custom layout 1. Okay. Okay, so they've turned off charts and radars. They just want me to sail straight, dead ahead. So I can get the old binoculars on. And there's the castle that we saw previously. Oh, and a sunken ship. That's not us, I promise you. Alright, let's go. Engines forward. We'll jump back in, turning off the binoculars, and away we go. So it seems like the engines are spinning up, 58 RPM, 0.7 knots. We are very slowly moving forwards. Zoom in a little bit. Very heavy ship. Taking a long time to get forward momentum. Hence why it takes 20 minutes to travel what is essentially quite a short distance. Now, is it my imagination, or are we moving ever so slightly to one side? There's no current. There's a small amount of wind. Seems to me like we're edging slightly further to the right. We are turning slightly right at 1 degree per minute. Now I'm not quite sure why we're doing that, but I'll just correct it. So we're now turning 2 degrees to the right, 2 degrees per minute. I should auto correct. So you wouldn't notice that from this view, so having the binoculars is really useful. Okay, we're on a dead straight course now. There is no current, the wind is behind us, so that shouldn't be affecting us at all. I think we're good. Straight through, no problems. Again, returning ever so slightly to starboard. And again, maybe it's going to come later, but again I noticed that they don't identify green and red markers properly. You know, there's a green marker down there on the left. They could tell you what that means, what the relevance of it existing is. Very useful, I'd say, for beginners. There we go, job done. Nice and easy. Scenario completed. You made it. Of course we did. Alright, let's see what's next. I don't know how many of these are going to do in a row. Till I get bored or, you know, till I get stuck. Ah, see, the game crashed. It's one of the problems with the early access version, obviously. Don't forget, of course, that I am forcing the game to run triple screens when it's not designed to. And I'm sure that's not helping things. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll incorporate the ability to have proper triple screens running. Right, come to a full stop. You start at a speed of 18 knots. Try to come to a full stop in the shortest distance, keeping the ship between the buoys. Stay between the buoys and stop before the final buoys. 20 minutes. All right, so this is... We're travelling at 18 knots. We're just going to go maximum reverse. We're still pulling ever so slightly towards starboard. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of port. To get things, or rather to keep things on a straight line. Didn't take too long to slow down. Maximum reverses. 16 knots. Don't forget we're 128,000 tons. I mean, just unbelievable amount, isn't it? And we're very slowly building up RPMs. We're in reverse, doing 62 RPMs at the moment. Slow down to 14 knots. Knots. Gonna be tight, isn't it? Oh my god! Are we gonna stop in time? Why are we only at 96 RPM? Come on! Maximum RPM. Maximum reverse. We're turning ever so slightly to port again, which is odd. Every time I take my hand off the throttle, it jumps 2% towards slowing down, which is not what we want. I think we're just about going to make it. .6 knots and dropping. So maybe then, this is interesting, like in an aeroplane when you're trying to take off, the centrifugal force of the engine spinning pulls you one way or the other depending on which way the plane is, propellers are spinning, I guess. So I wonder whether the propellers, when they're spinning forwards, are driving us slightly to the starboard side, and then when we're in maximum reverse, it's having the opposite effect. So the centrifugal force is then pulling us over to the left ever so slightly. Sorry, to port ever so slightly. If that's been implemented in this game, then that's awesome. I would need somebody out there, aka you, watching, if you know the answer to that question, to just confirm it. Because that would be really interesting to find out. Never really considered it before. Incredibly interesting. Still moving forward at 2.3 knots. We've almost slowed down, but not quite. Are we inside of these buoys? Because that's quite important, isn't it? Only just. Oh my god, look at this. So this really simple, easy mission, not so easy now. If I can't stay within the buoys. There we go. Thank you. 0.4 knots is... 0.5 knots is enough to consider that completed. Oh, I didn't get this last time, did I? I wonder if that's been recorded. Anyway, turn to port. Let's do it. It's just a turn to the left and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Bend your knees in time. Okay, so this is where it starts to get tricky. Stay between the buoys, pass between the last buoys, and I've got 20 minutes. You start at a speed of 4 knots, make a turn to port, and stay between the buoys. The scenario is completed when you reach the final buoys. I'm going to go maximum throttle because I'm hardcore. And also a bit of a lunatic, and we'll see how well we get on here. So we're going to go maximum. Oh no, we've got to do it the opposite way round because we're in this ship. Damn it. That caught me out. Are we going to turn in time? Yeah, of course we are. Scary from back here, I tell you. Wow. Am I going to straighten out in time? Straightened out too early. Oh dear. Turn, my beauty. Turn. I don't think I'm going to hit my marker. We may have to do this one again. So I haven't gone over that yellow line. And we're also not going to stay inside of the buoys. Okay, we will stay inside the buoys. Okay, yeah, it gave me that. I don't think it was going to, but it did. There we go. So you just got to give it a second and it will turn up with the thing. Very tight turn to starboard. Let's do it. This is good. This is more sort of, you know, tutorial-esque. Very tight turn to starboard. You start without speed. Make a turn to starboard and stay between the buoys. The scenario is completed when you pass the final buoys. Okay. So you start without speed. Is it the same ship? It is. And it's also loaded my my preferred layout, which is excellent. Alright. Let's get moving. Let's get the binoculars out. Oh, what's going on? So I can turn, but my throttle isn't working. Why isn't my throttle working? It's most odd. Let me just check. External controllers. Oh, yeah, it's disconnected my controller. Why have you done that? Now it's back. Save. And now it's working again. Okay. I don't know what that was. So yeah, this is a very tight turn, is it not? So, in the interests of difficulty and realism, I'm going to try and do this without going to an external camera, and that is not going to be easy. I've also got to remember to turn the opposite way. Well chuffed if I do this first time. I really will. I think I needed to turn a little bit earlier. I go to the bow. I think we're gonna just go outside of the buoys here ever so slightly. I suppose arguably I could hit the reversers. Just turn on the dime and then go out. Oh, it's going to be tight. I think we're going to go outside. I just needed to turn just that little bit quicker. No, we might get away with this, you know. We might just about get away with this. Woohoo! It's going to be tight. Okay, we can go neutral. If we check the bow, we can now go forwards again. We did it. We did it. We did it. Wunderbar. Yeah, perfect. Well, not perfect, but we did it first time, so. And we diverted a complete catastrophe. Nice. There you go, and I didn't cheat. Fantastic. Superb. Just be patient. There we go. Had 14 minutes left as well. Shorter full stop. Okay. I'm gonna automatically shove everything into reverse. You start with a speed of 16 knots, come to a full stop. This time the distance is even shorter. The scenario is completed when you come to stop before the last buoys. Right, so this time, same ship. This time I'm going to be more conscious about which way the bow of the ship is turning. I'm going to try and keep it dead straight. I don't really need to be in the cockpit for this one. It's just a simple stop, isn't it? But at the moment we're holding a dead straight course. There's something on there. Got that from sliding. So we're in reverse now, 32 RPM, 35 RPM. Maximum stop. Holding the throttles back just to make sure that we stay in 100% reverse. Ever so slightly pulling to the left. How awesome is that? So it must be the case that the centrifugal force from the motors actually turns the ship in the water. That is brilliant stuff. I did not know that until I played this simulator, and that's what you want from a simulator, is that level of realism. So I'm well chuffed about that. Not that anyone's confirmed to me that that's the truth, but I believe it to be the truth now. That's excellent. Absolutely excellent. See, 1 degree to port. Because we're... see, I never knew that. I never knew that. I believe that's the case now. And it further compounds my like for this game, which is developing very nicely, I have to say. I still have a moral issue with the subscription model. I'm fortunate because I guess I was chosen or accepted to be a beta tester, that they have issued me with 12 months review key, and I'm really enjoying this game, but I'm gonna struggle to convince myself to sign up to a subscription model. You know, they've got a year to convince me that that's what I want to do. The problem with me, of course, is that, you know, I'm not only interested in ships and sailing and stuff. I also like aviation, space, mechanics, management, RTS, military. You know, there's so many things that I like that if I had to subscribe to each of them, it would cost me thousands, hundreds or thousands of pounds a year. And I don't want to start going down that route. You know, I spend enough money on stuff, and I'm very fortunate. I do get a lot of keys to review for free, but you know, the downside of that is I'm always working on these things. I'm never just enjoying it, and I can't at the moment see myself wanting to to pay for a subscription model for a game that, as much as I am enjoying it, and I really genuinely truly am, I'm not going to play it every single day of the week. And that's what you need to do with a subscription. If I paid like 30 quid and I had the game forever, then it doesn't matter if I don't play it for a year. But if I have a subscription and I don't play it for a year, then that is a terrible waste of money. I think we just about made it, look. I'm not a fan of I don't like pay to play. And I don't like subscription models. I'm really not a fan of them. For very good reason. And primarily for the reason I've just mentioned, you know. Alright. Make a U-turn. Make a U-turn. U-turn. No U-turn. No U-turn. No U-turn. Okay. You start without speed. Make a U-turn to port and stay between the buoys. The scenario is completed when you pass the final buoys. Alright. Well, like a buffoon. I think I'm turning too early. And we're in this ship again, so I've got to turn the opposite way to the way I want to turn. I think we're going to hit the buoys, aren't we? No, 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 no. I think we'll be alright. I think we'll be alright. Right, so we're running 5 knots. I'm going to try and do this from within the cockpit. The ultimate immersion. So this is all going to be done with the bow thruster, pretty much. As I get to a certain point, I'll have to start accelerating again. We are still travelling at 0.3 knots in a forward momentum, which is great. I'm just going to go to external camera so you guys can see what's going on properly. But basically, I've got the ship moved forward and I'm turning really tight and hard using the bow thrusters. Maybe this isn't the way it's meant to be done, but this was always the way I was going to do it, so just got to watch this inside buoy, obviously. Right, let's start moving forward a little bit. Should be enough for now. Let's check the bow. We've got plenty of space there, plenty of space at the back. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. This is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. You can see how scary this must be for new captains of the ship, you know? First time you do this, The chances of getting it horribly wrong are very, very high. I got confused then. I turned the wrong way. There's a chance I'm going to go outside of the buoy because of that. No. We're going to be fine. Lovely stuff. First time. Brilliant. Got to be happy with that. $20 out of 20 on my first go. Gotta be happy. Make an S turn. Okay. So I think I'll probably make this the last one for this video, just because I don't want to overload too many things in one scenario. You'll start with a speed of 6 knots. Make an S turn to starboard. Stay between the buoys. Try to end with the same heading as you started. The scenario completes when you pass the last buoys. Okay. Right, so we're doing 6 knots. So I'm going to try and maintain 6 knots. I'm actually accelerating, which is not what I want to do. Right, there's 6 knots. Slowing down just a little bit. Takes me back to Rotterdam, this does. I think we're probably going to screw this up. But I forgot to check what our original heading was. I really can't make out where the second angle is at this moment in time. So I think I should have started turning earlier, and I should have slowed down earlier as well. It's going to make the second corner rather tight, but I think we can do it. What? Oh, the back end went out. Oh, that's the first one I failed. Okay. Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. Right. We're going to turn earlier, slow down quicker. I can do this. So that would have been thousands of pounds worth of damage. Right, bow thrusters at maximum. I'm turning at maximum. I do feel like we need to slow down, so I'm going to slow down as well. Try and keep an eye on the outside. Oh, we are close. Close to those boys. Oh, that is tight. Look at that. So I must keep moving forwards to stop me from going too far out at the back. I'm going to do it again. Yeah, exactly the same problem. Right, so I slowed down too much. So I'm almost stationary and I'm sort of rotating on a pivot, which is what's causing the back end to slide out so much. So I'm going to try and keep my speed up this time, which is going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. So that's, I mean, that's interesting. Because what that says to me is forward momentum is as important as anything else. In order to keep the front end tight. Yeah, that is interesting. If you let yourself slow down too much, you'll just tread water and, you know, the back end will slip out too far. It's really cool. I mean, once I get round this bend, then I can slow down, but not before I've got the angle. Yeah, look at that. We got way more space now. But look at that, we're turning inside of it now. Right, now this is where it gets tricky. Because now I am going to have to turn super tight. A skilled captain could probably do this in one, I reckon. Alright. Turn the opposite way. Forward momentum. I think if I was brave, I could do this at a constant 6 knots. I believe that's possible. Oh, this is going to be tight. Right, we are going to have to slow down, and we're going to go outside the buoys. Don't do it! Sugar. I should have checked it sooner. Nope, we're outside. Sucks! Ah! Just goes to show there's, you know, there is learning to be had here. I'm definitely learning something here. I mean, this is a very tight S-turn. We're doing 6 knots. We're maintaining speed, full thrusters, and a turn to the left. This time, come on. Keep an eye on that backside. I think we're good. Okay, so we may need to come to a complete stop here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this yet. We're doing 2 knots, which is not fast. So we're going to keep an eye on the bow, the port side and the starboard side. Little bit more throttle, just so I've got some rudder. Are we turning in too quickly? I think we're turning in a little bit too quickly. Can't run into that. Right, now we can turn hard, 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 hard. No, 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 no. No! Okay, this is going to be harder than I expected. Not harder, just there's a way of doing it And I haven't yet figured that out. So what I'm thinking now is neutral. So we'll instantly go right thrust, hard turn to starboard. We'll keep the engines absolutely in neutral. We should have enough momentum going forward to get us around the first one, and then hopefully we can transition and get ourselves in the right spot to take the second turn. So I'm going to have to watch this very closely. So we're fine on the inside. I think we're going to be fine on the outside. Are we going too fast? I think we're going to be okay there. Still travelling at 3.8 knots, which is giving us a little bit of rudder control. This is the tricky bit. I thought this would be the easy bit, to be fair. I was very wrong. Still travelling at 3 knots. I may have waited too long there. Yeah, we're going to have to stop. There's no way I'm going to turn at this speed. Damn it. I waited just a little bit too long. Brakes, 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 brakes. Come on. Are we going to stop? We may stop just in time. Right, so we should be on maximum. Yeah, so no, this is not going to work. We're just going to go straight into it. We have to come back. Right, so apologies. I had an important phone call I had to take. I think I figured it out. So we did the right thing first time round. We slowed down too quickly and ended up, or we turned in too slowly and ended up just having the arse end slipping out. But I think that is what we need to do. So I'm dropping the knots. Let's go 100%. I feel like Somewhere around 2.5, 3 knots is what we need in order to make the rudder still work. So try and keep us at that speed for long enough to ensure that we don't slide too far out this way. That feels about right. Okay, so we can really slow down now. I don't particularly want to stop completely, but we really need to get super far over this way so that we can turn in to the port side, which is a lot harder. Yeah, right, we're golden, we're golden. So with this very low speed, I'm going to try. This looks a lot better. But I've got to do it early. I can't wait too long. So as soon as we're straight and level, I'm going to start turning in. I think we've got it this time. Quietly confident. Here we go. Turn the opposite way. Full port thrusters. Let's go. Annoyingly, I think I may have waited just a little bit too long again. But our speed is still dropping, so technically I should be able to turn on a dime anyway. As long as I don't give it any forward momentum, we should be fine here. So I guess this time I need to be looking this side. Yeah, into space. Turning in on the bow. Very slowly start moving forwards. 10% throttle. In fact, I think we can go, probably go full tilt now. I think we've got it. Yep, I think we're there. Have I just ballsed it up? I think I may have just ballsed it up. I turned off it too early. Don't do it! Don't do it! Damn! Damn! Why did I do that? Too eager to get back on the straight and go. I wasn't quite there. It took so long to stop it turning the first time. It's tricky. It is tricky. This is why you need a good captain. Right, so we're going to do 50% reverse thrusters. We're going to go full turn, full everything. We know how to do this first bit. Make sure we keep an eye on this bit. Right. So while still maintaining that forward momentum to make sure that we still have some rudder control. Make sure we turn inside of this. Yeah, we are good. So we want very small forward movement, maximum sideways movement. Okay, we'll put the bow thrusters on the other side, increase throttle ever so slightly, just to get us up to 1 or 2 knots, and then turn nice and hard. I would have had it last time, but for a stupid, over-eager mistake last time. This time, the only thing that can stop me is my own stupidity. Again. So we're turning so quick now. I'm a little bit concerned we might turn inside the buoy, which obviously would be a problem. Just reduce the amount that we're turning just for a moment. So we're very slowly climbing up to 2.1 knots, which is when we'll get control of the rudder. The rudder should help the back end to turn a little bit more tightly. I think we're pretty close now. Let's not go outside of it again, because that's annoying. We've done that too many times. Really got to watch that, the end, the bow. It's quite narrow as well. I'm a little bit concerned I won't be able to straighten out in time. Okay, that's looking very tidy. looking extremely good right now. It's all about coming out straight on these buoys, I guess. We're going too far the other way. I'm a little bit nervous. Let's just try and get out as quick as possible. Right, I think we're there. I think we're there. Woo! We did it! Yes! It took a bit of effort, that one. I can't wait until I'm sort of, you know, there are scenarios where tricky things like that happen and it sort of matters more because you've got to get deliveries delivered and stuff. See, what I'd love to see going forward, long term in the future, is I'd love to see some sort of career path included in this game. That seems highly unlikely, but I would love to see it. Starting your own business, maybe, I don't know, something like that. That was awesome. I'm really glad that that was difficult because it shows just how realistic it is, because, you know, being a captain of a ship that size is difficult. I think we all know that to be true. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.